Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. So today we do know that the Edo State House of Assembly has suspended all 18 local government council chairmen and their deputies for 2 months with immediate effect. The Speaker of the House, Blessing Agbebaku, made a pronouncement during plenary earlier today at the Assembly Complex in Benin City, the Edo State capital. According to him, the move follows a petition brought before the House by Edo State Governor Monday Okwebolo over allegations of gross misconduct and insubordination. During a head count to decide on the matter, 14 lawmakers are seen to have voted in favor of the suspension, while 6 against, with 3 undecided. The House further directed the leaders of the legislative arm to take over the leadership of the local government councils. Take a listen to the Speaker. When the aye says aye and the nay says nay, but it does look like the ayes are their way, and the way they had was that the 18 chairmen and their deputies for 2 months stayed suspended. We've seen a lot of activities of Governor Okwebolo in the last few weeks that he took over the office as governor, since it was pronounced as the winner of that election. But what does the opposition think about this? And let's get some legal perspective onto this. So let's get Anthony Hilaba, who joins us. He's a lawyer and a member of the PDP in Edo State. He's live for us on the program. Thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us. Let me get your reaction to this. Legally speaking, does the House have the power to suspend these chairmen who are in the executive capacity for the time that they were suspended?
Thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure coming on your show to try and sympathize with Nigerians. I sympathize with the people of Edo State for the trauma they've been going through in the last couple of weeks, that they've had a governor foisted on them who seems not to have his wits about him, and he seems to lack proper advisory. I said to a friend very recently, and I said, if you take Edo State and you go back to why someone like Adams Oshomole was successful in his governance, is that he had people like Aswe Godalo and former Governor Baseki in his advisory council. So they were able to guide and direct him and make sure he made something out of his government. It is now unfortunate that the advised is now the one advising a governor. And you can see that all on his own, he couldn't have done it if he didn't have the help of these individuals. And it is very clear from the actions of the governor. When I heard that the governor had asked the local government chairmen to submit their accounts and statements, it sounded to me like I had to juxtapose a scenario. Imagine the president telling state governors to submit accounts to him. And that's an aberration in law. The people who should demand the accounts and statements from local government chairmen are the people of that particular local government through their representatives in the various local government councils. And so is it with the states. If we as members, I'm a citizen of Edo State. I'm from Igwebe local government. If I want to find out what my local government chairman, Engineer Clement Suleiman, has been up to, I will simply ask my councillor if I know him. And indeed I know him. And he's from Ikeke and he's from my ward. I will tell him, please, can you ask the chairman? And that's the proper way to carry on governance. It is unfortunate that the governor has been dubbed Waka Waka governor, simply unable to present his own budget at the State House of Assembly. And he's now going after local government chairmen instead of thinking of productive ways within the short period. And by the way, Dr. Aswe Godalo is in court tomorrow, again for the primaries of the election tribunal, which I hope that Edo people can see now that they all have to just have a little bit of patience and hope that within 6 months the mandate they freely gave, and which we have now seen the Athena Center on your show very recently, and the young man from TAP Initiative, Obono Martins, have come out to say that clearly the results in Edo State were that. And when you see what is happening today, where the state governor barely a month into office is going after local government chairmen and asking them for account, it doesn't make sense. Even the logic of it, the essence of the Supreme Court giving a ruling for local government autonomy is that let the states manage state affairs and let the local governments, let's reduce governance to the people that deserve, the people that have a right to sack their local government chairman are the councillors of Igwebe for my local government. So the governor is not doing me any favors by distorting governance in my local government. So imagine if local government chairman Shehu had a project that he was running and he needed to interface with them for 2 months using the State House of Assembly, which had an advisory from the the chief judge of the State High Court, advising that reading from the Supreme Court judgment, the local governments indeed have now, by the recent creation, that been given autonomy to run their local governments without interference from the state governor.
Let me jump in. Now, we do know that the local government, the 774, is a creation of the Nigerian Constitution, and Section 7 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, also stipulates the formation and the creation of the local government. And then they say they shall be democratically elected. But when they err, how do you punish? When you find out there are misappropriation of funds, or when there is corruption, what do you do under the law? Do you just
the executive by the creation of our laws and by the doctrines of separation of power, the executive is put in a position where it cannot directly or using other means usurp the powers of the local government. It is, we often say we don't have laws in Nigeria, but sometimes you have to give kudos to those who imagine the laws that we run by these days. The people who should call to question the activities of the local government chairman. I am from a local government there. I know how it works. There are local councillors. There are 10 wards. I keep giving you reference to my local government, Igwebe local government. There are 10 councillors. Henshaw represents me in Ward 1. So do other people represent other wards. If there is a problem about the accountability, the running of governments and all of that, it is those councillors that have a right to suspend the chairman, not the State House of Assembly. The State House of Assembly wants that superintend over the governor. So if there's anybody that will suspend the governor, it is the State House of Assembly that either impeach or suspend or whatever they decide to do. They are the ones that have the powers to supervene over them. We've had cases where the National Assembly has pretended to make laws for a State House of Assembly, and because severally I've heard that this is an anomaly. This is a gross violation of constitutional doctrines of separation of power.
But Anthony, they are not removed; they are suspended pending investigation.
They do not have such powers. They do not have such powers. The people who have the power to do that are these local government councillors.
So if their power, if they're acting ultra violence, Anthony, if they're acting ultra violence, what is the right action to take? I mean, if someone's power is outside of the law, if it contravenes the law, what do you do? Does it stand?
There are people who the local government chairman answers to. He doesn't answer to the governor. The local government, his Clement Asulima engineer, does not answer to Governor Mondo Kwewolo. He answers to Antonia Ilebo, who is from that local government, who is from that constituency. If Antonia Ilebo feels that Clement Asulima engineer is not doing his job, he will ask his representative, the councillor representing Ward 1, Henshaw, please go and raise a motion on the floor and ask for so. That is the way to go about it. It's just unfortunate that we have someone who clearly does not understand numeracy, clearly does not understand literacy, clearly does not understand even the art of governance. And we do hope that indeed judiciary is the hope of the common man. I am a practitioner in that field, and I hope that we not only give judgment based on or give rulings or whatever based on what we think the law is. It's also a state policy. If you can see someone is unprepared for governance, then what do you do? Look at the kind of gaps we have been seeing in the last couple of days. Look at the mistakes, unmerited, uncalled for facts.
But in terms of, let's look at it. Section 7 of the Constitution establishes the role and the formation of the local government. You look at it as an executive arm in that sense. Just like it's almost impossible for House of Assembly or the House of Reps to say we are suspending the governor or suspending the deputy. Is that how it operates for the local government?
Yes, every arm of government. And the doctrine of separation of powers happens even within the executive stratas. It operates within the judicial stratas. So in courts, you have the state high courts in a hierarchy. You have the federal high courts who attend to federal matters and all of that. When you come to governance, you have the local government. In the local government, they have their own sort of legislative arm. They have councillors from each of the wards that make up the local government. Those councillors are the ones who can then sit and suspend whatever chairman or whoever the chairman is or whatever he think he has done. Not by the governor saying there is insubordination. Insubordination to what extent? To the extent that you ask local government, it's like the president asking governors to send him statement of accounts. He doesn't have such rights. And if they refuse him, they are well within the boundaries of governance to refuse him or oblige him. Then he takes offense and sends a letter to the State House of Assembly and tells them, and we know, we're in a political season, we're in Edo State, but we do hope that the people can see clearly the sort of governance and where they are going to in the next couple of years, where the rule of law, laid down tenets of governance are being eroded so fast, barely a month after you've been sworn in, you're suspending local government chairmen. How? How is that happening?
Because a lot of people have said there are a lot of decisions now that Governor Okpebholo of Edo State is taking, and those are based on the rot he said he has found out since getting into office. That the PDP government of Godwin Obaseki has left the state in a disastrous state, and that's why he's reversing, he's retuning, he's fine-tuning, and is reshaping the manner in which things operate in the state. Does this bother you, actually, when he's saying that he's uncovering a lot of rots?
I'm not interested in all this razzle-dazzle. Was Edo State able to pay salaries and pay one of the highest salaries in Nigeria as a time of Obaseki, 70,000 naira? Yes, they were. If I leave my house in GRA and I drive all the way to my house in Igwebe, I have state-starred roads all the way to the front of my house. That for me is governance being delivered. So I'm not here to defend Governor Obaseki. What we are saying is that do not turn governance procedures on its head. The people who should question a local government chairman are the councillors that represent that local government. Outside that, nobody else has the authority to do so. If we started at the micro level of the state, we then ask the president to now have such rights to ask a state governor that he wants something. And if he doesn't get it because he has a cozy relationship with the National Assembly, the National Assembly will sit one day and impeach a governor of a state. That is what we see here. There's a clear separation of powers. There are 3 tiers and 3 levers of power. There's a local government, there's the state government, and then there's the federal government. And we've tried for years to let each one of these stratas operate independently. The fact that they are doing so now is as a result of concerted effort by civil society, people who care about governance, to insist that this style of government is implemented so that we can get governance directly to the people. And the people so affected by this governance are the ones who now have a right to push their councillors or tell them, please go to your chambers, have a sitting and question these things. Then the other set of people who may have those rights are the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, or the police, who can decide that. But this will be seen as witch hunting. Because the right people to
so Anthony,
have the power to investigate.
Where does these chairmen, so give us an understanding, what political parties, do they belong to the same political parties, the 18 of them?
Yes, they are all, you can see clearly that it's just an attempt to intimidate, harass. And some people are even saying that the governor is campaigning because he thinks that he will lose at the election tribunal and they will call for a rerun. So all he's doing right now is trying to find the grounds in which to campaign. Let me tell him, the people of Edo State are very clear about who they chose. They know what they wanted. And I apologize to Nigerians for what you've seen in the last couple of days. That is not a true representation of the quality we have in Edo State. Please take your minds to where you have ever seen Dr. Aswe Godalo talk, and then you'll be impressed about the kind of quality we have.
So where do you think that this chairman can go from here? The state suspended. Legally speaking, where do they go from here?
I mean, I will be calling my chairman after this interview. I'll be speaking to him and offering him free legal service, and he must take this up. And I'm sure what they want to do is waste our time in the courts while they erode the pockets of our combined and conjoined sovereignty. Please let this message go out to the governor that please he should leave Edo State. We see that the IGR has dropped from 8 to 3 billion naira within 1 month of his coming to court. He should raise the IGR, look for more money. He should begin to run government while he tarries till we get back our mandate and we're able to direct the Edo people as well.
Right.
Look, we had said that by this time we would be giving 50,000 people 50,000 naira. We had sat down for hours to figure out how we would do it, and we had figured out that governance had enough money. As we found out, this is the way Governor Basaki saved money to be able to pay people 70,000. We would have been giving Edo people 50,000 of them would have been enjoying 50,000 naira as of this point from Dr. Aswe Godalo.
Thank you so much. Anthony is a lawyer and a member of the PDP in Edo State. Thank you so much for your intervention tonight.